Hello students, welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. Today we are going to discuss about the important and major Ramsar sites of India. We are going to discuss what are the Ramsar sites, how they are important for us, and also individually the Ramsar sites which have been declared in India last year and few other important ones. So let us start and try to understand about this topic in more detail. So first of all, the Ramsar sites are the sites that is recognized as per a convention that is called as Ramsar Convention. Ramsar Convention was signed in year 1972 in the Ramsar city of Iran, and it is an example of intergovernmental treaty where government representatives from different nations, different countries came together and signed this treaty with a aim and objective of, we can say, providing a framework so that national action and international cooperation can be taken and attained for the main purpose is conservation and wise use of wetlands and their resources. As this treaty was signed on the 2nd February 1971, so due to this, every year on the 2nd February, World Wetlands Day is celebrated all across the world. If we talk about Ramsar sites in India, so currently India has the largest number of Ramsar sites as far as South Asia is concerned, with the total number being exactly 49. So obviously we have discussed the Ramsar sites are site that is recognized as per the Ramsar Convention, and these are the Ramsar sites are actually a collection of wetlands which are very important both from ecological perspective as well as from the biodiversity perspective. So first we have to understand that what are the wetlands, how can we define wetlands. So as per the Ramsar Convention, the wetlands are defined as any area which is a marsh, fen, peatland, water, whether it is natural or artificial. That means in Ramsar sites or in wetlands, both natural and artificial wetlands can be recognized. It can be either permanent in nature or temporary in nature. Permanent or temporary means sometimes what happens, we have wetland areas that during dry season dries up due to less amount of water availability, so that becomes temporary. That means during wet season we have wetland and during dry season it disappears. So that is temporary in nature. Permanent means where we have continuous availability of water. For example, in the Sundarban Delta region, because Ganga and Brahmaputra river are continuously flowing, and since they have source in the glaciers, they bring large amount of water throughout the year, and that is why it is a permanent in nature. Third is the wetlands can be either static or flowing. Static means it can be a lake, or flowing means if we talk about the coastal areas where we have lagoons. In lagoons we have continuous circulation of water from the sea into the lake and from the lake into the sea. So both kind of wetlands can be considered in the Ramsar Convention. Not only that, even if you look at the properties of the water, so wetland can be any such water body which has either fresh water where the salinity is less than 5 gram per kg of water, brackish water where salinity is between 5 to 35 grams per 1000 grams of water, and salt water where the salinity is higher than 35 parts per thousand. And it can include any areas of marine water. However, there is one restriction that to be included and the definition of wetlands under Ramsar Convention, the water body's height at the time of, or depth we can say, at the time of low tide should not exceed 6 meters. This is the limiting criteria. Otherwise, we can see the definition of wetland is wide encompassing and wide ranging. Now, the same definition has been adopted by the government of India also. However, there is one exception that has been given in the definition as per the Wetlands Conservation and Management Tool 2017. The exception is that all previous definitions that has been given in Ramsar Convention with a standing, such water bodies which are a type or example of river channel, paddy fields, human-made water bodies or tanks specifically constructed for drinking water purposes, and such a structure which are specifically constructed or built for the activities like aquaculture, salt production, recreation or any kind of irrigation. Such water bodies as per the wetland conservation rules will not be included under the definition of wetlands. So now let us understand about globally how wetlands are distributed. So few important points. First of all, if you look at the whole globe or whole earth, around 6.4% of the total global area on the landmass comes under the wetland. Out of this, the number of wetland sites are highest in United Kingdom with 175 wetlands. Mexico comes on the second number where it has 142 wetlands. However, In the terms of area, Bolivia has the largest area in the world, which falls under the Ramsar Convention, or which are categorized under the Ramsar Convention. At the same time, in the Australia, if you look at this part of Australia, the northern part of Australia, around this area, there is a peninsula that is called as Cobourg Peninsula. And Cobourg Peninsula is famous because the first Ramsar site to be declared under Ramsar Convention was the Cobourg Peninsula in year 1975. So this is some important point regarding the global wetland and Ramsar site distribution. If we try to understand the wetland distribution in India, so as per the assessment made by the National Wetland Inventory and Assessment, they identify that almost 152,600 square kilometers of India's area is under currently wetland. Total area of India is somewhere about 32 lakh square kilometers. So we can roughly understand that wetland comprises of almost 5 to 6% of the total area of India. If we divide this wetlands, what we find that 43.4% of wetland are example of a natural wetland that is lying in the inland areas, while about 24.3% of India's wetland are example of coastal wetlands that is lying in the coastal regions. If we look at the distribution of wetlands state-wise, so the Gujarat comes on the first rank, where we have maximum area under wetlands, that is around 34,700 square kilometers, and that roughly constitutes about 22.7% of total wetland area of India. On the second number, we have Andhra Pradesh with the second highest area under wetland, followed by Uttar Pradesh in third, and West Bengal in the fourth number. So Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, UP and West Bengal, these are the four top states in terms of area covered under the wetlands. If we look at the Ramsar sites, that are the few selected wetlands that has been categorized into the Ramsar sites. So the Sundarbans wetland, I have discussed before, lying in the Ganga Brahmaputra delta of West Bengal, has the largest area of 4,230 square kilometers. Similarly, the Vembanad Pole, which is a lake, that is the largest lake of Kerala, is in the second position with the area of 1,512 square kilometers. Vembanad Lake is also very important because culturally here we have Nehru Trophy boating race festival that occurs every year in this area, and also Vembanad Lake is a region where we have longest river of Kerala, Periyar, enters or drains into this lake. This is the region of also backwaters, where we have continuous movement of water both from the river towards sea and sea toward the rivers. Similarly, on the third position, we have the Chilka Lake, that is lying in the coastal regions of Odisha with 1165 square kilometers. Then we have Kolleru Lake in the Andhra Pradesh with 900 square kilometers. We have Bhitarkarnika mangroves in Odisha, and then we have Astamudi wetland again in Kerala. So these are the top 6 wetlands of India in terms of largest area. Now, what about the smallest wetland? So smallest wetland is Renuka wetland, that is situated in the state of Himachal Pradesh, and it is having very small area of just 0.2 square kilometers. So this is the smallest wetland of India. Now we have discussed already that it was the Australia where the first Ramsar site was recognized as per the convention. However, if you look at the first Ramsar sites of India, so there were Chilka Lake was the first Ramsar site that was declared in year 1985, almost 10 years after the signing of Ramsar Convention. If you look at the location of Chilka Lake, we can see this is the Chilka Lake lying in the coastal regions of Odisha, and just to the north of Chilka Lake we have the Mahanadi River that drains into that. So one branch of Mahanadi River also comes and joins the Chilka Lake. That means we can say it discharges its water in Chilka Lake through one of its distributaries. The characteristic of this lake, if you try to understand, it is an example of brackish water lagoon. Now, two terms are there: brackish water, as we have discussed before, is when the salinity is between 5 to 35 parts per thousand. That means if the salt concentration is between 5 to 35 grams per 1000 grams of water, it is generally characterized as a brackish water. Wherever lagoon means that from the three sides the lake is completely enclosed by the land, while one side it has a small inlet that connects it with the sea. So that is what lagoon means, and this Chilka is an example of lagoon. It's spread over 3 major regions, 3 major districts of Odisha, that is Puri, famous for its Jagannath temple and Jagannath temple Rath Yatra. Then we have Khurda, and we have Ganjam district. Ganjam district is also very famous district, popular district, because it is believed that the largest hatching site of a very famous turtle species called as olive ridley turtles. Their largest hatching site or egg laying sites lies around the Ganjam district, where we have one river that is called as Rishi Kulya river. It drains into this Ganjam districts. More than millions and millions of olive ridley turtles come on the coast of Ganjam near September-October months and lay large number of eggs there. That is important about Ganjam. Apart from this, if we talk about Chilka Lake, it is believed to be the Asia's largest and world's second largest lagoon. Not only that, if you try to understand the floral and faunal diversity of the Chilka Lake though have more than hundreds of different fauna, but it is very well known for the Irrawaddy dolphins. There are overall 4 different species of dolphins that are found across the world. Out of that, Irrawaddy dolphins are largely concentrated in the Chilka Lake regions of Odisha. On the northern end of Chilka Lake, we also have a very important wildlife sanctuary that is called as Nalbana Wildlife Sanctuary. And on this Nalbana Wildlife Sanctuary, on the upper end, we have a temple that is located. It is called as Kali Jai Temple. Now, one thing we have to understand that Chilka Lake at one point of time was in a degraded condition. It was actually facing a worst ecological disasters. However, the government of Odisha has built up or set up a Chilka Development Authority to ensure the development of Chilka Lake and to ensure that the pollution level of Chilka Lake is minimized. So, earlier it was placed under Montreux's record of Ramsar Convention. Now, this is something we have to understand, that what is Montreux's record. So, Montreux's record is a separate record of the Ramsar Convention sites, which are at a very higher level, where we have very high level of threat that is posed due to the human or natural interventions. So, the most degraded or most threatened Ramsar sites are listed under Montreux's record, and Chilka Lake was listed before. However, the Chilka Development Authority have done a very commendable job, and they have continuously dredged all the pollutant, all the sediments, and have paid a lot of attention in purifying the Chilka Lake region, and that is why they were also awarded with the Ramsar Wetland Conservation Award somewhere in year 2002, and later on Chilka Lake was removed from the Montreux's record due to the such kind of changes. Apart from that, Chilka Lake also is considered as one of the largest wintering ground for the migratory birds. Now, India lies between Africa and Central Asian regions, Siberian regions. So, every time when we have winter in the northern hemisphere, where the temperature drops very significantly in the Siberian and Central Asian region, and that is why the birds start to migrate toward Africa, so that they can go and they can stay in the warm areas. And while going from Central Asia to Africa, India lies in between, so they take some rest. For a few weeks to few months, they rest in India, while some bird species they rest permanently in India itself and then again return back. So that is why India lies at very important junction. So the Chilka Lake is believed to be one of the largest wintering ground for a lot of migratory birds from the Central Asia and Siberia. Now, the second important Ramsar site, which was also designated Ramsar site at the same time when the Chilka Lake was designated Ramsar site in year 1981. So we have first is Bharatpur. Earlier it was called as Bharatpur Bird Sanctuary, but now it has been renamed as the Keoladeo Ghana National Park, located in the Rajasthan region. If you look at the map here, this is the Rajasthan. So just to the western side of Aravallis, here we have the Keoladeo National Park. Not only it is a Ramsar site, but due to its important biodiversity importance as well as ecological importance, it also has been declared as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And this is also one of the sites in India which is put under the Montreux's record. Chilka Lake was earlier in Montreux's record and has been removed later, but Keoladeo Ghana National Park, due to the problems it is facing, is still put under the Montreux's record. I would also like to tell you that apart from the Keoladeo Ghana National Park, we have one other lake that is called as Loktak Lake, that is situated in the state of Manipur, that is also put under the category of Montreux's record. So as of now, we have two Ramsar sites, the Loktak Lake in Manipur and Keoladeo Ghana National Park in Bharatpur region of Rajasthan, which is under the Montreux's record of Ramsar Convention. Keoladeo Ghana National Park was very popular somewhere in the early 2000s because it is believed to be the largest site where you can witness or where you can see the Siberian crane in India. However, since 2002, due to fragmentation and of habitat and also due to decrease in the water level and the water availability of the Keoladeo Ghana National Park, the number of Siberian crane has been almost dwindling, and since 2005, we have not been able to witness any Siberian crane in this given region. If you look at the climatic characteristic of Keoladeo National Park, so basically it lies in a tropical dry deciduous belt, and also apart from that, the large part of this national park is a grassland areas. Due to difference or due to decrease in the water volume or water availability in that particular regions, the Keoladeo Ghana National Park has been facing severe drought, especially since year 2007, and that is the reason we have discussed the number of bird population has been continuously dwindling. The main reason why drought is affecting Keoladeo National Park is believed to be the construction of a dam that is called as Ajan Dam, that is built over the Gambhir River, which brings water to the Keoladeo National Park. So this construction of this dam has diverted huge volume of water away from this national park and thus have caused a drought and arid conditions in this particular areas. Now let us try to understand and know about few of the Ramsar sites that has been declared as a Ramsar site in past 1 year. So the first one of them is Sultanpur National Park, which is also a wildlife sanctuary. If you look at the location, it is somewhere located in the eastern side of Haryana. In May 2021, it has been declared as put under the category of Ramsar sites. It's nearby, very nearby to the Gurugram highway that connects Haryana to Delhi, and it also is believed to be lying in the main zone of Central Asian Flyway. Central Asian Flyway, again we have discussed the same region, as we know that from winter time when the birds migrate from Central Asia to Africa, they passes through India and spend some time in India. So that is why it lies in one of the major important junctions of the Central Asian Flyway. If you look at the floral and faunal diversity of these regions, so it is well known for the wintering ground for Siberian crane. We have greater flamingo as well as rough-backed winged slit. These are three major birds in terms of density that you can find in Sultanpur National Park. Further, the second national park that was declared as a Ramsar site in the same time when the Sultanpur was declared last year 2021 is Bhindawaz Wildlife Sanctuary. Bhindawaz Wildlife Sanctuary location is in the we can say just to the north of Sultanpur National Park, somewhere around this region. So this is also located in the state of Haryana, and it is believed to be at the confluence of Sahibi River and one of the other tributaries of Sahibi River, lying somewhere closer to the Aravalli Hills. Not only that, the Bhindawaz Wildlife Sanctuary is also not a natural, but it is a human-made or man-made Ramsar sites, and is believed to be the largest Ramsar site in terms of area as far as the state of Haryana is concerned. The third Ramsar site that has been declared as such is in the month of February 2022 this year. The Ramsar site is called as a Bakhira Wildlife Sanctuary. Location of Bakhira Wildlife Sanctuary or currently Ramsar site you can see is somewhere here in the northern part of Uttar Pradesh, that means at the border of UP and Nepal, lying in the Sant Kabir Nagar district of Uttar Pradesh. This Ramsar site is also very known winter habitat for a large number of Central Asian bird species, and the most important of the bird species, the highest number of the bird species that you will find here and unique to this particular area is something that is called as grey-headed swampfin. If you look at the picture here, this is the grey-headed swampfin. The whole body of this bird is blue, but the head of this bird is grey. It has also a top red on the head and has kind of black beak. So this is the grey-headed swampfin, very popularly known and found in the Bakhira Wildlife Sanctuary. Further, the fourth wildlife sanctuary that has been declared as a Ramsar site is again a Khijaria bird sanctuary, declared at the same time in the month of February 2022, and it is somewhere located in the Kathiawar Peninsula of Gujarat. This is the location of this Khijaria wildlife sanctuary. If you look at it geographically, on the northern side we have, this is the Gulf of Kutch, this is the Kutch Peninsula, this is the Kathiawar Peninsula, and this is the Gulf of Manna. So somewhere on the coastal regions of Gulf of Kutch in the Kathiawar Peninsula we have Khijaria bird sanctuary. On the nearby we also have a bird sanctuary, and the Ramsar site is very well connected with a national park that is called as Marine National Park, and through this Ramsar site we have a river called as Dhuab River that traverses through it. This site is also very known for, because we have every year International Bird Watchers Conference occurs in these areas, where bird watchers from different states and also from different countries come here and try to do the bird sighting. They want to try to identify if any new bird species are there in or not. So it is very interesting phenomena, interesting event that takes place here. The third important point, since as we discussed, it is lying near the Gulf of Kutch, the marshy areas of Ran of Kutch. So it is a combination of sweetwater lake and coastal line water marshland. Since it is water is being supplied from Dhuab river, so river have a fresh water, while the Kutch peninsula or the Gulf of Kutch supplies it the saline water. So that is why we are mixing of saline plus fresh water. The important birds that you can see here in this particular sanctuary is wintering waterfowls. Then we have Cyprus dwaracensis and we have Tephrosia jamnagarensis. These are three important species of bird sighted in the Khijaria bird sanctuary, also Khijaria Ramsar site. The next Ramsar site that has been declared is the Point Calimere Wildlife and Bird Sanctuary, which is also put under the Ramsar site category in this particular year of February 2022. The location wise, we can see the Point Calimere Wildlife Sanctuary is located in the coastal regions of Tamil Nadu, very near to the Park Strait that separates Tamil Nadu region from the Sri Lanka region. In 1967, this Point Calimere was declared as a wildlife sanctuary, mainly with the aim of conservation of the black buck antelope. The main species of animal or fauna that we find here is the black buck antelope, but that time it was very highly threatened. So that is why it was declared as a bird sanctuary and wildlife sanctuary to conserve it. However, recently this site has made news because for the first time Himalayan griffon vulture has been sighted in this particular wildlife sanctuary, and this is very strange because Himalayan griffon vultures are native to Himalayas. They generally live in the northern India, but for the first time it was sighted here. That means they have migrated from the Himalayan to the southern states of Tamil Nadu. One other Ramsar site that has been in headlines in the last year is something that is called as Deepor Bil. Deepor Bil the bill stands for a lake in the local Assamese terms. Location wise, if you look at here, it is very near to the Guwahati, that is a very important city of the state of Assam, and lying on the southern edge of river Brahmaputra. That is the location of Deepor Bil. The nature of this lake wetland is it a kind of permanent nature. That means there is always availability of water, and at the same time, as we can clearly understand, since it is supplied, the water is being supplied by the Brahmaputra river, so it is a type of freshwater lake. The most important point is, if you look at the Deepor Bil, this is the only Ramsar sites as far as the state of Assam is concerned. Not only that, Deepor Bil also has a very important role to play with reference to the city of Guwahati, because it is believed to be the only major storm water storage basin. That means if flooding occurs in the Guwahati region due to the overspilling of Brahmaputra river, the Deepor Bil has this possibility or has this capacity that they can store extra water, thus avoiding or thus preventing the worst kind of flood situation in the city of Guwahati. However, there are certain challenges and problems this particular site is facing. The first problem is there is sudden increase in the toxic water, and due to this toxicity in the water, we have also been witnessing loss of aquatic plants. Not only that, even we have the problems of encroachment by the railways as well as increase in the number of houses due to expansion of continuous habitation expansion due to the density of population density increase. Thus, both this construction as well as increase the housing is encroaching upon the Deepor Bil areas, and that is why it is continuously being sinking. And especially if you try to understand, since year 1980, as per the survey that has been conducted in this particular region, it is believed that the area under Deepor Bil has shrunk by 35%. So that is something that is very, very disturbing in nature. And it is due to this reason that the National Green Tribunal has directed the state government of Assam that they should declare Deepor Bil as an eco-sensitive zone. And keeping that direction in mind, last year Assam government has decided to declare Deepor Bil as an eco-sensitive zone. Now, the benefit of declaring eco-sensitive zone is that lot of activities that were earlier permitted around this area, for example, fishing activities, construction activities, and mining activities, all this will be completely banned, and thus lake will have sufficient time to recharge and also will have sufficient time to become healthier in nature. So that is about the Deepor Bil. if you try to understand about the flora and fauna of this particular area, so some of the famous or important bird species that you can cite here are the lesser adjutant stork, we have spot-billed pelican, then we have Bayer's pochard, we have greater adjutant stork and white-bellied eagle. These are the major species of birds in these regions. Not only that, since we have a large amount of aquatic plants that are present around these Deepor Bil areas, and also we have a dense natural vegetation, these are also used to be a very important and popular grazing ground for the wild elephants. That is why we also have a large number of wild Asiatic elephants in these particular areas. If we try to understand from the perspective of natural vegetation, so Deepor Bil lies in the deciduous forest zone, and the number of trees that we find around these areas are deciduous trees, for example teak tree, banyan tree, as well as the silk cotton tree. So that is about the flora and fauna of Deepor Bil. So that is all about the important and major Ramsar sites of India. Again, to remind you, there are total 49 Ramsar sites. So you should know about the location of all these Ramsar sites, at least in which state which Ramsar site lies. So that is all for this particular video. We'll come again soon with another interesting topic. Till then, take care. Thank you very much.